Alright, hi, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is of course the voice of hot dogs, and we are here for another episode of The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis, and it is day 23 here on the Sandstone Tribe, and it is a new week. It is actually the penultimate week, week 9 of this 10-week series. We're getting so close to the end, it's kind of insane. So as we can see, as the sun is beginning to rise here on day 23, we have Fabio and Tina outside. Fabio's kind of working on his woodworking, and Tina's just watching, supervising, and just enjoying his company, it seems like, while Brian, Vesepia, and Rich are in the gym. Brian is still pretty bruised up from Vesepia's fight with him. As you can see, she is too. But not only is she bruised, she's also sick. It kind of looks like she has like ringworm or something. She has a skin disease going on. So everyone's kind of bruised and battered, especially the two of them. As we know, Vesepia got into a fight with Brian after he tried to rob her. So he's on the loose again, trying to rob everyone here on the campsite. Meanwhile, Nina and Bella are actually upstairs in the bathroom just watching the mice, which is unique. Usually they do that at the top of the landing by the ladder, but instead the two girls are just hanging out in the bathroom doing that. Meanwhile, no one is cleaning the kitchen, and it is becoming rancid. The fridge is broken, the campsite's getting dirty, and no one's really doing any sort of cleaning or working on anything. Rich is heading upstairs, and it actually seems as though that little sickness that Vesepia has is kind of spreading throughout the camp. I mean, it's no surprise. We've all kind of learned a lesson in how diseases are spread, and especially in these harsh conditions that everyone is living in, it's just natural for them all to start getting sick. He's showing different symptoms, however. He's having a fever, and he's really hot and dehydrated. So he's kind of lazily sitting in bed, sort of trying to pass that on. Meanwhile, Vesepia just has kind of skin irritation going on. So different sort of symptoms. Everyone is really feeling the effects here on day 23. I mean, they have been out surviving for almost a month now, and even though these conditions are a bit nicer than the actual survivor conditions, you know, they're not living outside necessarily, they have still had a rough time. These are still not luxury conditions, and you can really tell it's really affecting a majority of the people that are left. We see that Nina has come to the gym to kind of check on Vesepia and see how she is doing, and she seems to still be in good spirits even though she's battered and bruised. Meanwhile, Rich is kind of working through his fever by cleaning downstairs, which is, I mean, that's an interesting way to do that, I guess. I'm just glad that he's actually cleaning, that someone is cleaning, because all of them tend to just let that slide. No one, I mean, I felt like when they first got to this new campsite, they were keeping it clean, and then I don't know, I think especially when the fridge broke, that really messed it up, because they'll start making something and then they'll just put it down and leave it, and they kind of have done that throughout the entire campsite. So gotta love that Sims logic. Fabio and Tina are still working outside while Bella is actually in the bathroom. Finally, Fabio ends up sadly going inside. He seems to not like the carving that he's been making, and Bella is just streaking through the house. She actually got naked in the bathroom and is just strutting her way past the mice. Rich is just going head first up the ladder. And she kind of struts herself. No one really pays any attention to her apart from Tina. When she finally enters the room, Tina's like, what? And she gets in bed and self-woohoos, wakes Brian up. Brian cannot go to sleep like he originally planned. He might have actually been crying in bed for all I know. I'm not too sure. And Tina and Brian just have to awkwardly witness Bella self-woohooing. Meanwhile, Fabio is giving Richard some company upstairs, trying to make him feel better, as Richard's fever is not dying down whatsoever. And he seems to be a lot more sick than Vesepia is. As we see, Vesepia's little skin disease is actually kind of cured up, while she is still bruised from her fist fight with Brian. However, I feel like since she won that fight, she's probably like, these are battle scars for her, unlike the ringworm she had going on. Meanwhile, Nina is working out, trying to get some muscle, trying to prepare for the future comps that we have going up, because every comp that we have is extremely important. And we are actually going to be having our first luxury competition coming up today. So with how the camp is looking, with how everyone is feeling, I'm sure they definitely want a little bit of luxury to kind of ease their pain, because it seems like a lot of them are wore out. We see that Tina comes and joins. She's kind of constantly following Fabio around. I feel like that's kind of like her number one boy. However, she's really close with all the girls. As we see, she's actually in there to talk to Vesepia and Nina, and she seems to be kind of upset. She's a little angry, a little sad, maybe a little confused, especially with Jenna going home in the last episode. We had the double eviction of Jenna and Eliza, and they were both pretty big characters, but because of the ties that kept happening and the hidden immunity idols that were made, the two of them were gone, and those were really big numbers for her, so I'm sure Tina is probably a little bit worried. As we see, Brian and Richard, though, have joined. I'm sure, well, now the guys and the girls are almost even, at least a lot more than they have been previously. So it's pretty crucial that these three guys stick together as much as they can. However, I don't know if that's necessarily possible, because Brian is such a crazy wild card that he can't really keep things going with anyone before he starts a fight with them or something. So the girls still have the advantage. However, we see that Vesepia's little skin disease has passed on to Bella. It isn't really getting her down as much, as she is still feeling kind of flirty, but she's definitely itching, and it actually looks a bit different than Vesepia's. Vesepia's was like swirly, and this one's really patchy. And everyone is really feeling like, even though Vesepia's skin is cleared, she's still like woozy and lightheaded. Rich is still having a fever. Brian's beat up. Like, everyone you look at, you can really see the effects of this game, which I love. I love it. It really makes it feel like Survivor to me. I like my Sims suffering. It's just, it's the best way to play The Sims, in my opinion. We see that Brian seems to try to be making amends with Vesepia. The two of them are probably the biggest enemies at the moment, clearly, by the looks of the two of them. But he has no one, and I'm sure he probably regrets what he did. He's just like I don't even think I made him a kleptomaniac, but he acts like one, that's for sure. But I'm going to lead everyone outside, and they are all going to head over to the competition area. And I actually have made a new competition area for the merged tribe. I wanted to redo a whole lot, because we are going to be having a ton of competitions coming up pretty soon, a ton of eliminations. Things are going to get pretty crazy. This is kind of the last normal week, and then finale week is going to get intense. And this is going to be one of the last luxury competitions as well. So here is the new challenge arena. As we see, it takes up 4 lots, and tons of different things are going to go down here. And today we are actually going to be having our bartending luxury competition. And of course, the rules are extremely simple. All of them are individually going to come up and make a drink, and whoever makes the most expensive drink will win. I am just going to be telling them to make their favorite drink, so they better hope that their favorite is something expensive. As we know, a lot of them have been bartending and practicing all season long, especially Vesepia, so we have to see how well she does, and if this incident with her getting beat up anything is going to defer, or if anyone has caught up. I was going to tell Brian to go, but as you can see, he got attacked by a spider right before. So not only is he beat up and alone, back from Oasis, on the verge of leaving again, he's also bit by a spider. So let's see what he whips up. He makes it pretty quickly, just a simple pour into a glass, and he actually even goes and sits down and drinks it himself first before turning it into Jeff. Don't know what that was about. I don't know if that deducts the price since he's sipped out of it. I'm not sure. But Brian has gotten a 9 simoleon rating. Next up is Rich. We have to see how he does compared to that. Alright, and Rich's drink is worth 18 simoleons, so he is in the lead and has beat Brian. However, Tina is up next. Let's see if she can top that.
Oh, 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 me quay. Oh.
Oh, Zanakloy,
Now.
Yibs. Oh,
And Tina actually took the longest making her drink out of, I think, anyone that even goes after her. And it got her a 10 simoleon drink, so not really worth all that effort. Rich is still in the lead with 18. Let's see if Bella can beat that.
Oh, Pomeray.
Alright, so Bella's favorite drink was apparently water, which is 0 simoleon. So she pretty much forfeited in this luxury competition. Next up is Vesepia. Now, she has been bartending in this game for so long. She doesn't do any of the tricks. She doesn't do any of that. But with all that experience, will it be worth it? Her drink is 45 simoleons, okay? Let's see if anyone can top that. She's definitely in the lead right now. Alright, and Nina's is worth 11 simoleons. It is not enough. Fabio is last. He has to beat 45.
Yibs.
And Fabio scored a 14 simoleon drink. And Vesepia clearly wins first place with the $45 simoleon. However, we are actually going to first and second place are going to be winners. So not only Vesepia, but Rich is also the winner of this luxury competition. Now you might be wondering, what is the reward? Well, this reward is a quality time date between the two of them. So right outside of this challenge arena is a little food kiosk. The two of them are going to be able to go over there, order as much food as they would like, stuff their faces. They can hang out by the beach and fish. All that fish they are able to bring back to their campsite if they do catch any. And then also, most importantly, they are able to talk in private, one-on-one, enjoy this time to get close to one another and build those relationship statuses. Now, as we know, relationship statuses are the most important part of this game. It determines who you vote for, who you try to keep safe. Well, apart from hidden immunity idols. Apart from that, relationship statuses are super important. So if the two of them can really bond in this time and really form an alliance, it could really help each other get farther in this game. So when it comes to luxury competitions, you know, they've pretty much won everything they can at camp. It is more about what is going to help them win the game. It looks as though Vesepia has put on a face mask and has gotten a burger. Meanwhile, Rich has gotten a big bowl of what looks like yogurt parfait or something, like fruit and yogurt, which is really surprising. I think if you could order anything, him just to order that is surprising. It's not my first choice. Like, I'm not even a hamburger fan. Like, I would eat one. Like, I would prefer that over the fruit, but maybe that's just me. And the two of them are getting along in front of this beautiful view of the waterfall. I knew I had to build a few sets over here in this part of Oasis Springs. I really wanted to show every single neighborhood of Oasis Springs in this series, and make you really feel as though all of it is post-apocalyptic. And I really like the way it turned out, even though you can still see in the background that we have like cars going by and random evicted house guests and stuff like that. But Rich has finished up with his first bowl of yogurt, and Vecepia has finished up with her burger. And then all of a sudden, like, she whips off her face mask and he feeds her the last bite of her yogurt. And they're all up close with each other. And I'm like, are things going to get romantic? Like, what is going on? And then they separate and decide to get more food. And I was honestly relieved. Like, it was hard for me to handle Rich getting with Bella. But the idea of Rich getting with Vecepia, I don't know. That's just like wrong to me. And I didn't want to see it. So I'm glad that the flirtation stopped there. Because it was uncomfortable. Like, all I did was feed her yogurt and I was cringing. It looks as though Vecepia has decided to go with a beer or soda or whatever that drink is that she got. Maybe a milkshake. I really don't know what she ordered. And I think Rich has ordered himself some food to go with that little parfait he had. Maybe it's a little dessert or french fries or something. I can't really tell. I do need to install that mod that gives you better food, because why the food in this game is so bad looking, I don't know. Again, they have come down to the beach this time to get a closer look at that beautiful view of that waterfall, and they're actually fishing. We have to wait and see if they actually end up catching anything. Most likely not. I don't think I have seen Vecepia really fish too much at camp. However, Rich and Fabio have both, and Brian, all the boys have been fishing quite a bit at the campsite. While they're doing that, Jeff actually aged up and becomes an elder. Instantly, his back is sore, his hair is gray. Have you guys seen Quarantine Jeff? Now that he's come back with the long hair, what do you guys think of that look? If you're a Survivor fan and you're caught up, what do you think about Jeff's new hair? But yeah, my version of Jeff is now old, and I'm actually going to keep him old because Jeff is getting old. It's realistic. And as Vecepia and Rich enjoy their afternoon here on the beach in front of this waterfall, we're actually going to end up going back to the campsite, and we're going to check in and see what the rest of the castaways are up to while Rich and Vecepia are out and about. So it is, of course, still day 23 here at the Sandstone Tribe, and we see that Fabio fails at dreaming big on the b-ball court. Nina looks sadly into a fire, while Tina fails at cooking. Like I said, since the fridge is broken, they're constantly taking food out and then just leaving it there. Maybe the oven is broken too. I don't know. They could all easily learn how to repair things, but they don't enjoy doing that autonomously, I suppose. Nina and Bella actually end up going outside and joining Fabio at the basketball court, and of course as soon as Nina comes back there, she gets attacked by a group of bugs. And of course Tina is closely following. I feel like she is following everyone. Like, she is constantly going room to room, following Fabio around, following the girls around, trying to make sure that she is in the loop of everything. Also, when it comes to Nina and the bugs biting her, I feel like Nina might be the person that I've gotten the most amount of attacks, whether it be bugs, bats, spiders. I don't know, I feel like it's always Nina. I need to go back and like tally how many times each person has gotten attacked in this show and see who got the worst amount of luck when it came to that. Fabio has actually left the basketball court and went into the backyard to dance by the fire alone, while Brian sadly sleeps. I think that's kind of what he has resorted to after his big fighting debacle. He's just kind of been avoiding confrontation and just sleeping. We see that Fabio had stopped dancing and is now working out. Fabio is constantly working on all of his skills. I think the two people that have the most amount of skills are definitely Fabio and Vesepia. Vesepia kind of has picked which ones she wants to work on and really focuses on those. Meanwhile, Fabio kind of works on all of them all the time in short increments. So I'm also interested to see at the end of the series like how much everyone has in skills and all that kind of stuff. I think that could be interesting. Let me know if you guys are interested in any of that. We see that Tina is kind of dropping some bombs on the girls because it looks like they're pretty shocked by what she's saying. Bella is halfway distracted though, as she's just still playing basketball while the other two are talking to her. We are going to be having a basketball competition coming up fairly soon. All those skill points that I have lying around that I said are important will be coming up soon. So the schedule is going to be kind of a little bit crazy. As you guys know, I have been working a ton recently, so I kind of ditched the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. Simply because I have been busy at work. However, that is all ending. Tonight is my last shift and then I am off for a little bit, so I will be really working on these videos and I'm so excited for our finale week. The remaining episodes will be posted this week, and then hopefully next week we'll be back on schedule. So I'll talk a little bit more at the end of the episode on that. When I was talking about repairing things, Fabio is the only person that actually does that, and he's over here working on the oven, while Rich and Vesepia have returned from their little date, and they're kind of coming and telling everyone about it. Of course, Vesepia walks in and instantly complains, like, what a way to come back from a luxury competition. But she's hanging out with Fabio and kind of talking to him while he is fixing up the fridge, while Rich is outside hanging out with the girls, and of course Bella. Wherever Bella is, that's where Rich is. The two of them are really a huge duo in this game. I'm surprised have not been split up yet. But when you have someone with that high of relationship status, it's kind of hard to split the two of them up because they're always going to vote for each other. You know what I mean? I think Fabio is kind of getting good with everyone. I think compared to all the boys, Fabio has the best position within them, and everyone's kind of trying to become his friend. As you can see, Vesepia is doing that now. Brian is, of course, in the worst position out of all the boys. He did have multiple weeks where he was out of the game and unable to build those relationships, even though he does have quite a bit of skill points that will come in handy for future competitions. But the important thing is he will have to win them or he will be out. He has used his hidden immunity idol, so there's no more of that in his back pocket, and he is now resorted in actually having to build relationships. We see that Tina and Nina have actually just become good friends, so the two of them seem to be a really strong duo as well. We will have to see what happens. In the next episode will be another individual immunity competition where one of them will be saved from tribal council. Again, I'm planning on posting the immunity competition episode and also the tribal council this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we will be back on our original schedule next week as we round up to the finale. I'm so excited, and until then, follow me on Twitter and I'll let you know when I'm uploading then, and I love all you guys. Bye.